Hi, hello, everybody. This is Patty from actually Get Balanced 2020. So I'm actually on my other channel, and hopefully it's called the Divine Warrior Intuitive. But I am actually doing a video to hopefully counteract both of them. I came on to do this because I'm getting a lot of interesting questions. And also, I keep getting from the divine to talk about it. So that's what I do. But as far as Get Balanced 2020, this is going to be probably mind. We talk about mind, spirit, and body. So this is probably going to intermeld with wine. I wish I had some wine. Mind and spirit. So what we're talking about is the character and integrity, the difference between the two. What is one more important than the other? Do they go hand in hand? And what to look for integrity and character in a person when it comes to dating, work, maybe a family kind of thing situation. Because in the dating world, especially because being a single mom and just being single anymore because my daughter's now grown, this comes up a lot because through my generation and younger generation, it just seems to be a very different thing. However, when it comes to dating and picking a soul mate or having a soul tie, which that's not really a good thing to do, but it does happen all the time. We need to realize not only the intent of what the person is and why you're dating and what you're dating for, and how you go about your dating and that kind of thing, but it also is sort of a checking system, like an interview system. When you actually go on a date, you should actually go on 3 dates, actually. And you're checking for a character, you're checking for integrity, and you're checking for red flags, pretty much. But the thing is that we want to look for the character of a person and the integrity. And usually by the third date, that you will be able to know. Sorry, I was just burning some frankincense and it went up my nose. Um, you will know a person's character and integrity by the third date. So that's why, and same with a company. If you go to interview and invest your time and energy in, because a lot of the times, if the integrity and the character don't match up, you won't last. Know that from experience. Anyway, so let's talk about character. We're going to talk about the definition and I'm going to try to stay away from the table because I know it moves. It's not a real sturdy table. Um, so let's talk a little bit about character. Character, what do we want to look for first? Well, integrity is probably second. So character, we want to look at that person because that's their personality, how they think. It's also the qualities that they have in them. And sometimes just because maybe the qualities might be not the same for many reasons. So if I was raised in a very religious or spiritual home and somebody's raised up in a different, that they didn't have that in them, then it probably means that our qualities are different, and so then our standards are different. And it doesn't mean that they're bad or anything like that, it's just that they're different. Okay. If I am, and I have lived in other cultures, and I have dated different cultures. So also too, the qualities of a different culture, a different person from a different country might not be the same qualities as what we are used to in the United States. So when we do that, we look at that and we say, is it a bad thing? No, it's just something that I am going to either have to learn, that character is going to be uh, a different mindset. Sorry, I keep getting flashes in the back. I got an error that keeps showing up. Hopefully that'll stop. I think it's due to the the buffering, because I'm in an area where it doesn't get really good signal. So hopefully you're getting a good signal through this. But so you want to look at those kind of things. So now you have to look at the character of the person, and you have to look at the character of where they're from. Okay, and their background a little bit. And that's why we talk about the 3 interview process when it comes to, I'm going to move this just a little bit and see if that changes it. You might get me a little bit closer. Lovely. So what we want to look at is the characters of their background. And the character is, are they honest? Are they trustworthy? Are they loyal? Are they communicative? That kind of thing. Or are they a player? Or are they like questionable? Or are they, you know, not quite so honest giving kind of thing. Also, too, people say, well, you can tell by the way they're dressed or what they wear. Not necessarily. I mean, you can have like millionaires go into a car dealership in their jeans. Maybe they just got off of work and they're in jeans, holy jeans. And they go into a car dealership. Like this actually happened in our town. So these 2 gentlemen went in. They were just normally dressed. They looked like they didn't have any money. Went into a Mercedes place, Jaguar place, or I think it was Mercedes. And they were judged by the way that they looked. And they didn't think they had any money, so they wouldn't help them. So they went up the street. That's what happened. It was Mercedes, and then they went up to the Jaguar place and they bought 2 Jaguars with cash. So we can't go by someone's character by how they dress, how they sometimes look at. And sadly, again, another incident is, we have a lot of homeless people. And if you look at some of the videos out there on YouTube and some other places, that some of these people have been a professor, have been with money, and then got on down on hard times. Maybe they lost a family member and couldn't cope, and then their life spiraled down. You don't know, but that person may have very high integrity and may have very high character, and you wouldn't know it. So you cannot judge somebody's character by what they're wearing or what they look like. So that would be the number one thing I would say, is don't judge a book by its cover. And that's where women, I'm speaking to women now, where we get into trouble, especially as far as dating, because we want to look at that good looking guy and think that character, he's clean cut, he's got a nice suit, he's all nicely shaven, handsome kind of thing. But then we think that character is going to match that. And a lot of the times it don't. A lot of the times it don't. A lot of the times it could be a player. Maybe his intent is just to get a notch in his belt. Maybe it's intent to basically, just play around, not be honest, not be truthful. And I'll tell you right now, from the dating world, and this is for if the young ladies are watching this in their 20s and early 30s. In the 30s, you should be starting to know, but a lot of the ones in the early 20s or just becoming 20, you cannot believe anything that comes out of a man's mouth. Don't believe a word, literally. You can't, because a lot of the times it's sort of like, and I'm not saying that to be mean or bad if any men are watching. I'm just saying that you have to have proof in the pudding. You have to be shown that your words match up with your actions, because a lot of the times, they're being puffed up like peacocks. They want to make themselves look better than what they actually are. For example, I have somebody not too long ago actually say they had all these cars and all this stuff, and come to lo and behold, he actually probably was a car dealer, kind of thing. But it's just something to puff them out to get you to be more attracted to them. Is that a good character? No. It is not. But the thing is, it happens 90+% of the time until you actually check that person. I shouldn't have to check them. I'm a grown adult, but unfortunately, that's the game of dating. That's the game of male versus female and all that kind of stuff. And females do it to males as well. And it's really, nobody wins in that situation. Nobody. Let me tell you, there's one red flag on one of the 3 dates that I'm telling you about, then I wouldn't be. If it's one of the 3 interviews and there's a flag for a job, and that they want to hire me, but I have a red flag. You know what? The integrity of this company, and I'll explain what integrity is in a minute. But the integrity and the character of this company is just not what I want to be. I want to be with an honest. I want to be with somebody who's got my back. If I'm going to spend all this time and energy into it, same with the school. If you're a young person and you're going through school and you're trying to look for a college or something like that, you want to check out that college, know what its statistics are, what its graduation rate and all that kind of stuff is, because that's the integrity of the school. And unfortunately, statistics lie. Like, no, tomorrow I'm a criminal justice major and I had to take statistics. And it's like, statistics lie. You cannot even believe in that. You can't even believe in what you see. You have to believe in what the action is. That's where the integrity comes. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So when character is important, you almost have to be on the same page as whatever another person is. So we're going to keep people and dating and that kind of thing, but it doesn't mean, same with your marriage. If you're in marriage and you got married and your characters were off, one was very honest, another one was hiding a bunch of stuff, then you've got a balance issue off and you got a standard issue off. Does that make sense? Because then you've got, and I just did a video on standards, that you have to keep your standards high, because then if your character and your integrity begin to drop, but the other person is still high, you cannot come down to theirs. They need to come up to yours. That's another subject. Please watch the standard video. Did I even put it on there, or did I do it on Facebook? I'll make sure that I put it on there. So watch the standard video if you want to do that. And I'll try to get the link on there for that. And I'm going to mark that. So I do that. Standards video. Video. Okay. So, but here's the thing is, when you're dating, you've got 3 chances to basically say, okay, I am going to move forward with this person, or I am not. And those are the things that you're trying to sit, ask questions, listen. So if you want an honest man, you need to be honest. If you want somebody loyal, you need to be loyal. If you want somebody who has high integrity, you need to have high integrity. If you want somebody with high standards, you need to have high standards, because it's never going to match up equally, but you want to be the one to set everything. The woman actually has more power than actually the men do, because we're the ones that actually are the bread. We're the prize. We're the prize, ladies. We're the prize. Anyway, so you want to be able to have that integrity. When you're dating, or if you're with somebody already, say I got married really young and things change. And if you got married young and you're still in your 10, 20, 30 years of marriage, don't listen to me. You guys got it. You've got it down. But I'm talking about more about the single. But the other thing is, can character change over time? So a lot of the times with women and you're dating, you say, oh, he'll change. He'll change. Everything will change. Now, when you're dating and you think that he's going to change after he gets married, no. Now, if he's married and you guys have been married for a while, I bet you if you look back to the time that you were married, things have changed. Things have probably gotten better, or sadly, some things have gotten worse. So the character of the person does change as we grow, because it's a journey. Everything changes. However, what way did they change? Whose standards did they come up or down to? So that's the key about character. Now, if you want somebody with somebody who has the same characteristics as you, say you're spiritual and somebody isn't, and if you think you're going to convert them, then that's not the purpose to get together. That is not the reason, and you should not go into that if that's what you're trying to do. So the thing is, you want to go in with the intent, what you need, asking the questions that you want about their character, and basing that off of what the information is given. And if you get a red flag, that gives you, if you get 2 red flags, it's time to just say, this is not the person for me. Because what's going to happen is, if you don't keep your standards up, then that guy's got that. Men have you figured out like no tomorrow. I got to plug in here. Men have you figured out like no tomorrow. They already know how to make things work, how to make things happen, how to manipulate, how to get what they want, how to get a notch in their bedpost, how to get a notch in their belt. They already know how to do that. They've been trained since the little boys. This is what they do. This is their mentality. This is how it is. It's not a bad thing. It is just how men are. They're a sexual being. That's just how they are. So you have to know yourself and what you need, and for the characters, for you, character traits for yourself of what you expect. Okay? So the next thing on character is probably the last thing on character, is that if you're going to either be interracial or intercultural, you have to understand, especially intercultural, that characteristics are different, and you have to be even more open to understanding and asking more questions to know where their character comes from. For example, I was married to an African person, and if I would have learned more ahead about the character of this person, most likely that wouldn't have happened. Not only that, is we found out over time is that there was no walking in the truth at all. In fact, it all was a facade and a lie. And even in a relationship before that, who wasn't from another country, it was all facade and a lie. It was just to get something to use another person. So that was my fault for not asking enough questions, making sure there was enough information before I even move forward and waste my energy, my time, and my money. So those are the things that you want to make sure. Because, for example, and I'm talking about something very different, I'm very spiritual. So I believe in certain ways of doing things. But at the time, I was very set on the Bible and making sure that, we both understood the Bible. Yes, we both understand. We were both coming from the same background. But what I didn't know, because it was a cultural trait that was different, is that they believe in ritualism as well. Well, how can you believe in ritualism and then believe in the Bible? Because your ritualism is going against what the Bible says. So that's just an example. I needed to know more about that characteristic in him, and that what that meant to him, and either be an accepting of it and open my mind to it, or say, hey, that's not what I like. Another one is that, in all honesty, I'm a monogamous. Americans are monogamous. This is our culture. This is the way that we are. But in their culture, there is polygamy. Now, even though I'm told by him that that he believes in monogamy after getting married and moving forward, well, I do believe in polygamy. And I'm like, what? You told me you were monogamous. So these are things that you want to make sure that all their characters, and we all have character flaws. We all have character flaws. We all have character weaknesses. But we want to make sure that when we have a character weakness, the other person has a character strength there, and vice versa, so that we can lift each other up, we can help each other grow, we can educate each other, I can't speak anymore, and we can make them accountable when that doesn't fall. If you ask for honesty, they're honest, they want to be honest, and somebody starts lying, time to check them and bring them up again. So that's what integrity. So we want to make sure, I would just say, if you're dating, 3-date rule. get all the answers. And by that third date, if it doesn't feel right or something's just not quite right, time to move on. We can go on to that. I could go on to dating and that kind of thing for a long time. If it is for a job, I mean, you do your own 3 interviews, and you could answer all the questions in your 2-person interview or whatever they choose to give you, and go by there. And you want to make sure that you, at that second or third interview, say, you know what, I just don't feel right about it. You need to walk away. As much as you might like that job, you're going to actually save yourself from a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of unhappiness, and you're keeping your standards up to what you expect, because if they expect that of you, then you need to expect that of them. If it's a school, you want to make sure that their integrity or their character of what they're saying and how that they want to present it is actually how they present it. And I'm going to share with you, young people, one thing. I learned this the hard way from my daughter, which ended up in a horrible situation. She actually had picked out a college after high school. Out of 3 colleges, we picked this one. We get her down there and we bring all her stuff to the dorm and everything. And we get down there and we found out that they had lied through their teeth about so much stuff, and everything was just a falsehood, that we had to make the decision while we were there to have her go through admissions or go home. Now, as a high school student, and you work hard and you get your 4.0s or your 3 points, or even if you don't have that good, you still want to go to college, make sure you and somebody else does the research, because we went through all the papers and the what do you call it, brochures and everything that the school had given us about it, and there were so many things that were misrepresented. So what happened was, we unfortunately, because there was so much lying going on, and it was even proven, that we decided to come home, because she didn't want to waste $30,000-$40,000 a term on something that they weren't even offering. So that is the character and the integrity of that college, private college. And what's sad is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit, because I don't want this to happen to any young person out there thinking about going to school, is especially if you're from another state or another country, you need to especially really check out these schools, because you can't go visit them or see them very easily. We spoke to 3 attorneys after this happened, and they had stated in the state of California that this happens regularly, because people cannot check out the college, but by the time they get registered and administrative and registered, too late, too sad, we got your money, you're hooked. I don't want that to happen to you. Make sure that you check out these colleges from every angle. Don't believe the brochures 100% of the time. Don't believe all that. That's what I'm talking about, character. And now we're moving into integrity. So integrity is all about the quality or state of being complete or undivided. It's the soundness, the uncorruptibility, or the unimpaired. Okay, I had to read that because I got some of those words I get sort of stuck on. So anyway, so it's the state of the complete, the well-being of something. Is it solid? Is it sound? Is it something that's just going to fall apart really easy? Or is it going to, in a storm, be able to uphold? It's like when the doctors talk about your medical stuff. What is the integrity of, if they're talking like a cancer cell, what is the integrity of that cell? Is it starting to break apart, fall apart, or is that thing just not giving up? Kind of thing. So this is the thing that you need to look for, not only in a mate, also in your job, also in a school, or whatever it is that you do. So integrity is really important, and melds with character as well. So when you meet somebody and they've got good character, okay, now Do they have good integrity? So we know what their character is a little bit about, what their personality is, and all that kind of stuff. We also know what the person feels and everything. But how stable is that? Are they feeding me a line of bull so that I can, believe that they do this? Or how strong are they in believing and convicting in that of themselves? And so that's what we look at integrity of a person. So if they say, well, I am honest, well, you really need to make sure that they are honest. So they're honest, but then, when you ask them the tough questions of where their roots are and all this, we find out really the integrity of the person. Now, they could come from a really dysfunctional background, and they may have done their own homework and done all their homework as far as what they need to keep their standards high, their integrity high. But are they stay there, or are they one of these people that waver depending on the circumstance, depending on the relationship, depending on who they are with? So let's give some examples. Integrity. So if I'm at work and I don't believe in bullying, or I don't believe in discrimination, talking about bad about somebody's color or anything like that, and I've got some coworkers over here in my earshot that I can hear bullying somebody or joking about somebody's color or saying some not so nice things. Am I going to stand up for that, or am I going to just sit there and be quiet and laugh with them? So if I said that I have high integrity of I'm against bullying, or I am actually, or they say, hey, Patty, come here, I want you to tell you this joke, and it's a joke that I would not appreciate. Do I stand there and hear it, not knowing what the joke is, but I listen to it and I laugh with them, even though I know that is not? No, I say, you know what, that's really not appropriate. Then that my integrity is standing up for what I believe in and what I have my goals set for. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that it is unshakable. That is because it's sort of like when an attorney, maybe I'm doing my will or power of attorney or something like that, and they ask you, are you in sound mind kind of thing? Are you in stable mindset? In this day and age, it's really hard to know because so many games are being played. It's really, really hard to know. So in a mindset that is unstable, somebody's going to be lying a lot. Somebody's going to be, not trustworthy, maybe a cheater, maybe a player, those kind of things, because it's wavering is what I'm saying. They're not being true to the 2 plus 2 does not make 4. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. When you have somebody of high character and high integrity, 2 and 2 is always going to equal 4. It's like somebody who has a real strong faith in God. They're not going to waver. No matter what crap hits them, no matter what storm hits them, no matter how broken down they try to make them, they don't waver. That's integrity. Does that make sense? So you want that integrity and that character in a person. You want that in a friend also. I belong to some Facebooks for my Get Balance 2020 and for spirituality, for spiritual coaching. And unfortunately, some people were bullying somebody who asked a simple question. And everybody went along and I'm like, oh, hey, no. Mm-mm. So I typed in, this is not appropriate. And a lot of people were like, thank you. I was thinking of leaving because, that is integrity, sticking through it. And sometimes you're not the most favorite person either. You won't be the most favorite person. So just understand that if you're trying to go in with the Joneses and be with the Joneses, and you want to keep your standards high, you want to keep your integrity high, you want to keep your character high, you're not going to be the most favorite and most popular. And that's okay, because you know what? You either go with the flow with the people that are faking it until they make it, or you go with people that actually have low integrity or low character, and you lower yourself to them and you be with the crowd. What do you want to be? You want to be the person that God or whoever created you to be, and that person is of truth, of loyalty, of honesty, of love, character, integrity, all those kind of things. So that is really important. You want all that from your work, your school, your mate, your friends, your family. And lastly, it's really, really hard to walk a life with high character and high integrity. And sometimes you might have to walk it alone for a short time, but it's better to walk it alone than be surrounded in negativism, in low energies, low vibrations, because it will suck you down. It will suck your life out of you just like a vampire does. I don't know where the word's going, but we call those energy vampires. Oh my gosh, my brain is becoming the end of the day. But they will suck your energy so far that, you know what, you're going to be questioning your existence. You're going to be questioning your integrity. You're going to be questioning your character. And you don't want that. You don't want that. It's better to release a toxic person than to live life with one. That's why in relationships and marriages, a lot of the times when the marriage is over, it's over, and both agree it's done, it's over, and they live in a household that they say, well, let's just do this for the kids. Let's just do this for the kids. Well, you do it for the kids, but you're stupid enough to know that the kid, or not stupid enough, well, you're stupid enough that you don't think the kids know they know. And it's actually worse for the kids to be living in a miserable household than to be living separately with two happy parents. They get it. They get it. So that is toxic to your children, actually, to be staying in miserable than separating and actually allowing those kids to see two happy parents, two happy households. It's not the best. No, it is not the best. It is not. But people are, oh, I could go off on this and I really don't want to. But people have made the choice to lay in bed, to do this, to have kids and sit there and put the kids actually at the center of dysfunction. Then they grow up dysfunctional, unloved. They search for love. They end up on drugs. I'm not saying all kids are this way, but I've worked with these kids. Drugs, home, no dads. Dads leave, totally disappear. One parent raising with very low income, then they're not around, and then the kid isn't loved, and some of these kids are so miserable they end up committing their own suicide or they're taking their own life. This is not fair to these kids. Because of your character and your integrity has dropped, make sure that you guys understand that these kids know where everything is going and you're teaching them to have a lower character, a lower integrity. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, so character, remember, is number one important. Integrity, you do need to ask about those kind of things. Again, when you're dating, oh my goodness, I really have a 3-date rule. I really do. Sometimes they don't even get to the first date because if I'm on the phone talking to them or FaceTiming them, I already got my answers there. I'm not going to waste time, energy, money, and especially in COVID, the chance of catching COVID or even the 6 feet away, whatever, I'm not going to take that chance on my life. And I'm not going to waste the time because I know what I like. I know what I'm looking for. And that's what you have to be in your singleness, to know those things and have your character before you even go out and try to find somebody else. Because if you go try to find somebody else and you bring somebody in and you're both not healthy, what do you have? An unhealthy relationship. You both need to be healthy and then you come together. Same with the job. You need to be healthy, go into that job, know what you want, know what you like, know what you need. Same with the job. Job need what they need. You know, if you don't meet their goals and your character and their integrity, you out of there, out of the first interview. So look for those things. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you go check out getbalance2020.com Or if you are on the Divine Warrior Intuitive, I hope you also go on that too. And if you would like to learn more about life balance coaching, or get life balance coaching or spiritual coaching or health coaching with nutrition and fitness, please come and see me. Come on down, as Bob Barker used to say. Oh my gosh, I'm aging myself, aren't I? Anyway, you guys have a great evening, day, wherever you are in the world and wherever you are in the United States. Be safe, be healthy, and remember, character and integrity is number one. Set your goals, set your standards, do it now, write it down, speak it, live it, bring it to life, and have a healthy, happy relationship, job, school, whatever it is that you're searching for. Email me if you have any questions, or you can catch me on Get Balance 2020. Talk to you later. Oh, by the way, please, please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I really would love you to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you soon.